Georgia seems to constantly be producing good offensive linemen. Amarius Mims was a first rounder last year. Broderick Jones was a first rounder the year prior. And while the Dogs may not have a first round talent along the O-line in 2025, they do have some really intriguing players down the board. One player who I thought was going to come out of last year's class and end up being a day 2 pick was Georgia right guard Tate Ratledge. Ratledge is a very fundamentally sound guard prospect and is a player who I'm a big fan of in this draft class. In a weaker interior offensive line class, how high could we see him taken in the 2025 NFL Draft? That is what we will be discussing in today's video. But hey guys, if you guys are new to the channel, consider hitting that like and subscribe button. Also, be sure to check out my Patreon page, where for $5 a month, you guys will get full access to my in-depth draft guide and big board, with over 500 scouting reports and all the analytics you guys need to help you be successful this draft season. It is one of the best resources on the market, and I highly recommend checking it out. Leave a comment and let me know which prospects you guys would like to see in a future video, and without further ado, let's get into it. Ratledge has been a 3-year starter on the offensive line for the Bulldogs and has been a really impactful player. In 2023, Ratledge played in 726 snaps, allowing just 5 pressures and 0 sacks on the year. He was incredible and was a second-team All-American. In 2024, Ratledge battled injuries and played in just 500 snaps. He allowed 7 pressures and 1 sack on the year, but still put some pretty awesome tape on display. Ratledge has the ideal size for an interior offensive lineman at the NFL level. He is 6'6", 320 pounds, and he has an awesome height and weight combination for the interior. I love his frame and think it's going to translate really well to the next level. As a run blocker, Ratledge is very impressive. He showcases some very nice athleticism and showcases the ability to pull in the run game, as well as climb the second level. But I think I was most impressed with his ability to just power over people. Ratledge brings some serious pop with his hands, and he is a bulldozer at times. He plays with nastiness, it plays with a physical mentality, and I love that about Ratledge and really any offensive line prospect, and I think that's going to be a major selling point for him at the NFL level. As a pass protector, I also think Ratledge shows some really nice upside. We mentioned the really good hands, and that shows up once again in pass protection. He's got incredible grip strength and displays fantastic hand placement, but I think his lower body is most impressive. He has remarkable lower body strength and very strong anchor. I love that about Ratledge, and he does a very good job of matching power with power and not getting pushed over by bigger, more physical defensive linemen. There's a lot to like about Ratledge, and he's been a very impactful player for the Georgia O-line since he stepped onto the field, but he isn't a perfect guard prospect. The first concern I have is going to be his run blocking angles. There were a lot of times he was a little bit late to his spot, and he was unable to connect with defenders, and I don't like to see that. I'd like to see him improve as a run defender. Sometimes he can be too aggressive as a run defender, and it just causes him to flat out miss, so I'd like to see him bring that back just a little bit. Another concern I have is his balance and body control. There are times when Ratledge seemed to trip over his own feet and end up on the ground, and it was really weird. He sometimes can be lumbering, and it does directly affect his balance. I can't really point to the issue on tape, but I'd like to see it improve for him because it was something that I noticed time and time again, and I don't really know what seems to be causing it for him. If Ratledge was healthy all of the 2024 season, I think we'd be talking about him a little bit more than what we are. He's got some really good tools, and while he isn't the sexiest player in the world and he might not be the most elite athlete in the world, he's an incredibly strong and an incredibly powerful blocker that's going to be a starting player in the NFL. And I think he's going to be a steal in this draft class. He's my number 3 overall interior offensive lineman. He's my number 2 guard prospect and my number 67 overall prospect in the draft class. There's so much to like with him, and I think he's going to be a really good NFL player. In terms of a scheme fit, I think because Georgia is a team that really helps prepare their linemen by running such a pro-style offense, Ratledge is a very scheme-versatile prospect. He can play in a pass-heavy offense and be successful. He can play in wide outside zone and be successful. I think he could be successful wherever an NFL team sees fit because he has played in so many different spots throughout his college career. He probably is going to stick at guard at the NFL level. I don't see him kicking out to tackle or playing center, but I think he can play in any type of offense in the NFL. Tate Ratledge reminds me a lot of Washington Commanders guard Sam Cosmi. Cosmi has proven to be a versatile lineman who is an unbelievable athlete in space and has been a contributor in both the run game and the pass game. Both of them showcase that finisher's mentality as a blocker and are absolutely fantastic blockers in space. Cosmi is maybe the most underrated player in all of football, and I think Ratledge could be a very similar type of player in the NFL. Tate Ratledge is a finisher. He looks to hit you with incredible physicality and is an awesome player on the move. I think he's going to have a very nice NFL career, and ultimately, I believe that Tate Ratledge will be a top 100 pick in the 2025 NFL Draft.